Hello, my name is Emma, and I have been coming here for a few months now. In the beginning of when it all started, I had been suffering with a lot of hypertension, high blood pressure, to the point where I was nauseated all the time. It was difficult for me to drive. After being on medication for a few years, after suffering all the side effects that come with all the medication that I had to take, I decided that I wanted to see something else, do something different. So my husband actually found Dr. Lou online, and I've been coming here for a few months now. We've been able to get my blood pressure stabilized now and doing a lot better. I'm able to exercise more, and I don't get dizzy as much as I used to. I've been able to just go about my day normally now without having to suffer with headaches or migraines, nausea, or just being tired all the time. I also had other issues that came with that. Since I was just sitting around doing nothing because I was always so sick and miserable, I then started getting other things, which was migraines, like I said, to the point where I couldn't even get out of bed. And I am very grateful to Dr. Lou. Since then, I think I've only had maybe just one migraine, and that was only related to weather. I definitely will continue to come here, and just so I can feel great. The other thing was when I got to the point where I no longer could handle the high blood pressure. So it was about 170 over 95, and that, if anyone's ever experienced that, you feel miserable. You can't do anything. And at the time, I felt so stressed. I couldn't even sleep. So it got to the point where for the past 2 years, I have had really bad insomnia as well. So I wasn't able to sleep at all. If anything, I would sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours. And Dr. Lou also treated me for that, and by that I mean she did acupuncture, and so I was able to get back to my sleeping schedule. She did advise me to start going to bed at a certain time, and ever since then, that's also helped my mind. So my mind is a little more clear. I'm able to focus more on things, and I also noticed that I no longer had car sickness. So I would get motion sickness, car sickness all the time, and that was something that only because I had a trip that I had to do just recently, and I came back and I said, Dr. Lou, you know what I noticed? I don't get car sick anymore, and that is amazing because I would have to stop and just pull over and just breathe or relax or open a window because I felt like I was going to be nauseous. And now I noticed on this trip that I didn't have that, and I came and I was so happy, and I told Dr. Leo, I said, I have no more car sickness. Oh, that's amazing. I had been to the hospital because I had a very bad, it felt like a stabbing, a needle type of like poking you from the inside out. And it was in my lower abdomen. If I would go up the stairs, it would hurt. They asked me if it was my appendix, and they checked for that, and no, it wasn't. Later on, they found that I had a cyst. And so then they put me on medication for that. And with that came weight gain. And of course, I didn't want that. So I went the natural way, and I mentioned it to Dr. Lou because it kept coming back. It wouldn't go away. So I mentioned it to Dr. Lou, and I told her what size it was. And she started treating me for that as well. And I think it took 2 cycles. She was able to get rid of my cyst. And it was a cyst of 2 centimeters, and it's been gone since. So that pain is that's something else that she was able to get rid of. So not only migraines, the cyst, no more panic attacks. I really like how clean this atmosphere is. how attentive Dr. Lou is to you, to each of her patients. She explains everything thoroughly. And ever since then, that my husband and my family have seen the amazing changes in just a couple months. The rest of my family have decided to also come and see Dr. Lou, and they also have seen a few improvements in their lifestyle.